is revealed. Before Yahushua comes out of the heavens, right? The Antichrist got to be revealed, and he has to be visible, and he has to be seen in the flesh. So, of course, everybody thinks that they're just going to be, especially the churches, think they're going to be delivered, taken up to heaven, and not see none of the things and destruction that's going to happen here on the earth, and not see the Antichrist. Well, you got to see him. Before Yahushua come, he has to be visible and in the flesh. So that's what we're going to show tonight. And then on the next class, all right, when I teach Most High Will, I'll show you how Yahushua himself got to be revealed too. All right, but first things first. First the Antichrist, then Yahushua. See, that's how it has to come. All right, and he has to be seen in the flesh. So let's start with. Well, first I'm going to read this, right? Something I wrote on the 70 weeks, right? Spirit showed me about the 70 weeks in Daniel. We're not going to go to that, but it's concerning the 70 weeks. And in this paper, the Spirit showed me how the Antichrist, how he would come, and how he would be visible, and what type of person that he would be. Understand? And so this is what the Spirit showed, right? It says, the Antichrist is the antitype to Yahushua. So a lot of people don't know that. He has to be, the Antichrist going to have to imitate Yahushua. He's going to have to be the Antichrist, but show like he wants to imitate Yahushua, right? So he is the antitype to Yahushua, right? And then of course, you're going to read that in Revelation 6 chapter, first verse, and the second verse about how this person on this white horse with a crown is coming to conquer and conquer. All right, it's going to tell you that's concerning the Antichrist. Then it says, it speaks about the white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given him, and he went forth conquering. This is the Antichrist. He will be one individual. Understand? The guy, the individual guy who's the Antichrist would be one individual. Even though in the end there's going to be people following him, following the Antichrist who are considered Antichrist also. But there is one guy, understand? Because a lot of people believe it's just a system, Esau system, and it is a system. His system is Antichrist too. His system is a vibration of the devil, vibration of 666 also. But it has to bring itself down to one individual. That's what people understand. It has to come down, wind itself down to one individual. All right? It starts off as a system and as empires and all that, but it has to come down to one individual. Understand? Okay, and then it says, he is known as the Son of Man, or the Man of Sin. Not the Son of Man, the Man of Sin. All right? He's known as the Man of Sin, the Beast, right? Son of Perdition. He's known by all these different things, right? Little horn. So you got what? 4 things right there. Man of Sin, the Beast, Son of Perdition, Little horn, and the Prince to come. All right? He is the culmination of the 7 kings. You read about the 7 kings in Revelation 17 chapter 10th, 11th verse. He's the culmination of all of them. He will be a flatterer. He has to be somebody that knows how to flatter people, get people's attention. Understand? And he will be a so-called brilliant diplomat. He will be a diplomat, all right? He will be somebody highly intelligent, right? A superb strategist, somebody who has a strategic mind, right? This type of person. He will pose as a great humanitarian, understand? He will be somebody who's humanitarian, not just to people, let's say in America, but also people all over the earth. People will look up to him as a humanitarian, meaning he's somebody that will come to help nations of people out of their troubles, all right? He will be a friend of men, right? And a special friend of the Jews, okay? We're not talking about the friend of the real Jews, the so-called Jews. Special friend of the so-called Jews, right? And it says he will intoxicate men with a strong delusion, right? That he's about love and peace, and he's, he's willing to help mankind out of his troubles. A strong delusion, right? He will appear to be a man of peace, yeah. And it's like Antiochus Epiphanes had that appearance, and he came in right? During that time, during Maccabees' time, and he came in, the Greeks, and Antiochus was a Greek, the Edomite, and he came in with peace. And when he got it into the city, into Jerusalem, and because they allowed him to come in because he came with peace, what happened when he came with peace? See, war was in his heart. Understand? War was in his heart. So he fooled the people with words of peace, flattering words of peace. And those words sound great. That's like these democratic leaders sound good to our people. That's why they get our vote, and then our people vote for them. And then after they get into office, they don't do nothing. Same thing with Obama. He got the black people's vote, he got our vote, our people's vote, but he didn't do nothing for the people. Understand? He don't even come into the cities. He don't even come into urban cities, you know what I'm saying, to speak about the situations and the problems of our people that's happening in the city. He don't do that. So our people voted for nothing, basically, right? So intoxicated man with strong delusion, he will appear to be a man of peace. He will be a prototype of Nimrod. He has to be a prototype of Nimrod. In other words, he has to have that kind of spirit of Nimrod. Antichrist. Nimrod being like the first Antichrist in ancient time who rebelled against the Most High, right? And the commandments of the Most High, and built Babylon, all right, ancient Babylon, and built it up. Well, since America's Babylon the Great, the spirit of a man is subject to a man. So Nimrod's spirit has to come back in this same person, whoever this person is, on that level, right? Understand? And it's spiritual negative things, see? Not just things you see in the flesh, but spiritual negative things. Things that's rebellion against the Most High, right? So he'll have to be a prototype of Nimrod, and you could put Antiochus Epiphanes in there too. Understand? He would have that spirit. He would have the spirit of Nebuchadnezzar in him too. Understand? And that spirit, the spirit of King Etbaal in him too. The king of Zidon, right? And that spirit in him. And the pharaohs of Egypt, you have that spirit in him too. Understand? All right, the culmination of all those different types of spirits in him, right? And then it says the Antichrist will not be an Edomite. See? He cannot be an Edomite. Understand? He has to be the regeneration or reincarnation of Nimrod. And it has to come from that spirit, and the Most High would bring him back to play out the same role that he played out back then into Babylon the Great. That's America. He has to play out that same role. Understand? He has to play it out. It has to be played out that way. Even though Esau is doing the works of the devil, right, of Satan, but he's not going to be doing, he's not the Antichrist, the individual Antichrist that has to come up in these last days. So that's what people understand. Yeah, he's doing the works of the devil, Esau, right? And Esau is going to support the Antichrist, right? Right? The elite of Esau are going to support the Antichrist. But it has to be somebody who fits Nimrod, who fits that mold of Nimrod, right? So it has to be somebody, and Nimrod being a Hamite, has to be somebody who's a Hamite. And that man, you know, and Nimrod was a Cushite Ethiopian. The Ethiopians are the Cushites, right, of today, right? And it says the role of Nimrod as the rebellious one. Nimrod means the rebel, right? Meaning he rebelled against the Most High. And then it says, and he was king of Babylon each time, and it would be played out as the king of Babylon the Great, which is America in the last days, right? And then it says the Antichrist will use the temple in Jerusalem, right, in his last days, as a type of headquarters. Because that's their main goal. That's the Illuminati's main goal when they get this Antichrist, whoever's the Antichrist, when they get him together and all the power is behind the Antichrist, where their main goal is to get Jerusalem, right, the temple that they plan on building in Jerusalem as their headquarters. Of course, their New World Order headquarters, the Antichrist wants Jerusalem as the centerpiece of that, all right? Wow. And that's their main goal, all right? And then it says, for his global world satanic kingdom. That's what their New World Order is about, a global world satanic kingdom, take over the whole earth, right? That's why everything now is global. Global economics, global economy, global everything, right? He will also build an image of himself either in the temple or out in front of the temple. Either one, he's going to build an image of himself. And that goes back to when you read about Nimrod, not Nimrod, I mean Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar built a temple of himself, right? And that statue was like maybe 1,000 feet tall. It was a big statue, right? And he had people bow down and worship in this statue, right? Remember, and the scriptures tell you, if you don't bow down, if you don't take the mark of the beast and his image and bow down to his image, what's going to happen? Right. See, you will be beheaded. You will be put to death. Understand? So he's going to build an image of himself, and the Bible tells you that's the abomination of desolation. So the Lord tells Israel, tells us, the ones he woke up, the Most High woke up to the truth and knowledge. He says, when you see this happen, see, flee out of the land. Showing you that there are going to be Israelites in the land at that time when this statue is built. We're going to be in the land. A lot of us are going to be there. But he said, when you see the Antichrist build this image, right, by the temple, and you know, any idol by the temple is blasphemy, right? It's wicked as hell. The Lord said, that's the abomination of desolation. Flee out, back out of the land. He said, begin to get the hell out of it. See? And all this is going to happen in the last day. Then it says, this is the image of the beast. It says that the false prophet who will be connected with the Antichrist, right? Them two together will cause followers of the Antichrist to worship. They're going to try to cause the whole world to worship. This image will be the antitype of the golden image Nebuchadnezzar commanded to be made in Babylon. See? Once this is done, it becomes the abomination of desolation. And the Bible will tell you about that in the scriptures. So we're going to go to 1 John and the second chapter and the 18th verse. And we're just going to read about the Antichrist, because a lot of people think it's just a system and there's not going to be nobody as the Antichrist being revealed, especially in churches, right? Churches believe that. They think they're gonna miss it and skip it and all that. You ain't skipping nothing. You ain't skipping nothing, brother. Okay? I mean, you know, the Antichrist, in my belief, this is my opinion, he's here now. See? He's here now. Understand? He's here now. Being groomed. Being groomed and being prepared. Understand? As a leader to take over. And as you know, Kissinger, who's one of the hierarchies of the CFR and the Illuminati, they put Obama as head of the New World Order. They're making him the head of the New World Order. So they're grooming him to be the head. For what reason? There's only one reason. Understand? This man's the devil. The Bible speaks of. That's the only reason. To take over the whole earth. Understand? So as you read that, I guess Dawiyad, right? You want to read? 1 John 2 and 18. We'll just start with that.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, is the last time, as ye have heard, that the Antichrist shall come.
Right, see? So little children is talking to Israel, right? With the little children. This is the last time. So how many times do we got to say, does Yahushua got to say, it's the last time? Huh? How many times? It's the last time. Go ahead up. Oh, and you read, right? And as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come. So Antichrist, meaning one who is against Yahushua. That's what it's talking about. One who is against Yahushua. Understand? So this particular person is going to be oppositional. He's going to oppose Yahushua, meaning the law, statute, commandments, the word of Yahushua. He's going to oppose. He's oppositional. He's against. Right? Okay, go ahead.
Whereby we know that...
No, read that even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even now are there many antichrists.
Now it's talking about, right, it said the Antichrist should come, but then it says even now there are many Antichrists. So he's talking about one individual person, and then it's talking about many who are pretty much going to follow this individual person. So anybody really who breaks the commandment of the Most High is really an Antichrist, when you really look at it. All right? You're really, once you begin to oppose, yeah, you can make a mistake and then repent. Okay, that don't so much make you an Antichrist. But if you're opposing and rebellious, knowing you're breaking the commandments,
And don't care.
yeah, and don't care, then you're pretty much an Antichrist. Right. So an Antichrist can be somebody in Israel, it can be an Israelite, it can be, our people, it can be, of course, the Gentiles, it can be anybody. If you're rebellious, and if you oppose these commandments, and knowing the commandment, knowing you're doing evil, that's the main thing. Knowing you're doing evil. It's one thing you make a mistake and then you repent for it. See, when you come to the knowledge of the Most High and the Lord's statute commandments, you know that and once you realize you made a mistake, because once the Lord will taught you, well, okay, I made a mistake, let me go repent. Okay, no, that don't make you rebellious. That don't make you evil. That makes you somebody who made a mistake, now you're repentant. Most High forgives that. See? But when you're rebellious, Most High said what? It's like the sin of witchcraft. See? That's what the people out here doing. Witchcraft. It's the sin of witchcraft. Rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. So it brings you down to a level of what? An Antichrist. Judas Iscariot was an Antichrist. He was basically an Antichrist when you look at it, right? Yahweh says, I chose you 12. One of you is the devil. How about that? The devil, he called one of his 12 disciples, his loyal servants, disciples, apostles. He said, one of you is the devil. Matter of fact, the one that eats with me right here, that's you. See?
Dip his hand.
Yeah, dipped his hand right in it. That's you. And he said, go do what you got to do. Because you're finished. That's it for you. And he kept on going. Maybe he thought in his mind he could just change things. I don't know. But you know how our people get. They're going to change the mind of the Most High. They're going to change things. And they're going to keep going until they do it. So it ain't your will. That's why you always say by the will of the Most High and Yahweh Shai, right? So then he realizes he sold himself for nothing. So Yahweh Shai 30 pieces of silver. And then realized it didn't do any good, so he had to hang himself, right? And so that's what's going to happen. All right? So there are many antichrists. Can you read that last part up?
Whereby we know that it is the last time.
Yeah, see, this is how we know it's the last time. Now, if John was writing this back then, so he was writing this back then, you figure over 2,000 years ago. And he's saying the Antichrist was back then, and then there were many Antichrists back then. And he said, this is the last day, this is the last time, I'm telling you this. So it goes without saying that we've been in the last times for over 2,000 years. We've been in the last days, brother. For a long time. We've been in the last days. Understand? For a long time. Understand? So when Yahweh Shai came into earth back then, he's really teaching us and showing us we're in the last days. And how do we know we're in the last days? Because when Yahweh Shai spoke that was over 2,000 years ago. But what does the Bible say? A day with the Most High is what? Yeah. See, and you read that in 2 Peter, Dawiyah? Is that 2 Peter? Yeah, 2 Peter 2 and 8? 3 and 8. See, we've been in the last days. See? So this is how you know, because with the Most High, 1,000 years is one day. With us, it's 1,000 actual years, right? 2,000 years. But with the Most High, it's only about 2 days, 3 days, right? That's all it is. So Yahweh Shai, he was saying, this is your last time, and it's going to take 3 days, right, for this to happen. But a day with the Most High is 1,000 years. So read that, Dawiyah.
Book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 8.
Yeah.
But beloved, Be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Most High as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
Right, see? So the Most High is eternal. So he don't count time like man count time. We're in the flesh. So 24 hours to us is 24 hours. With the Most High, it's 24 hours is nothing. With the Most High, a day is 1,000 years. Understand? Or 1,000 years can be just one day with the Most High. Understand? So now, and so what the Most High say in Hosea, get Hosea 6:1. Dalyad. Hosea 6:1 says what? In the third day, I shall raise thee up. Brothers, sisters, we're in that third day now. Matter of fact, we're coming up on the 7-year tribulation period, the last 7 years. All right? Read that, Dalyad. Hosea 6:1.
The book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 1. Come, and let us return unto the Most High, for he has torn, and he will heal us.
Yeah, so Most High has torn us, right? So it's like the Most High tore us up, and now he's going to begin to heal us. And we're in the process of being healed now with the truth and the word being brought to us spiritually. Right? Go ahead, up.
He has smitten, and he will bind us up.
And he has smitten us, and he will bind us up. So Yahweh Shai is going to do this. That's why his Bible says no man can buy you out of this. No man can buy you out of this. It's going to be Yahweh Shai. He's going to do it. See? Go ahead, up.
Verse 2. After 2 days will he revive.
So after 2 days, so what's the day, Dalyad? A day with the Most High is what? 1,000 years. So after 2 days, after 1,000 years, 2,000 years, right? After 2 days, 2,000 years have to go by. We know that part is it has to go by. All right? Go ahead, Dalyad.
And the third day, he will rise us up.
Right, he will raise us up. So in the third day, he will raise us up. So 2 days have to go by. Now, we know that from the time of Yahweh Shai, right, up until now, about 2,000 years, right? But how are we in the third day? Well, you got to remember, you also got to count from the time this was prophesied. It was prophesied during the time of Hosea. This is the 7th century BC, right? They say about what, 750 maybe, right? But you pretty much go according to when the Israelites, especially 10 tribes, went into captivity under the Assyrian Empire, right? That was about 722 BC. So from that time up until Yahweh Shai, you had 720 some odd years go by. That counts. That counts in this. That counts in those days. Do you understand? That counts. So you add the 2,000 years from Yahweh Shai up until now, and then you add the 722 years before that, you get 2,700 and maybe some odd years. Are we in the third day? Yeah, we've been in the third day for a long time. For a long time, we've been in the third day. See? We're in the third day. Understand? But he never said what day. So in the third day. But you said in. You're in it. You've been in it for a long time. That's why he could say back when he prophesied to John, this is the last days. See? He could prophesy to the disciples, you're in the last days. Yet, here we are 2,000 years later. Are we still in the last days? Yes. Understand? Everything that's been happening from the time of Yahweh Shai up until now has been part of the last days. All right? That Yahweh Shai was speaking about. Yeah, Ben. Yeah, it's been part of the last days. So, we've been in the third day for a long time, brother. All right? And that's what brothers don't realize. Brothers thought it was going to be the year 2000. Right? And that was what, 12 years ago? that went by, it came and went, nothing happened, right? So it wasn't the year 2000 because they're getting it from this, but they didn't realize you got to count Hosea's time. So you've been in the third day for a long time, all right? Okay, and then to read that third verse out.
We got more on it.
Okay, go ahead.
And we shall live in his sight. verse 3. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Most High, his going forth, Salakia, for his going forth is prepared as the morning, and he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and former rain unto the earth.
Right. See? So when in the third day, Yahweh shall come and raise us up and deliver us, then we're going to know we shall follow Yahweh shall. See? And we're going to know that we shall follow him as the rain and latter rain and former rain, meaning in wisdom and in knowledge and understanding. See? That's how we're going to know to follow Yahweh shall. See? Not how we want to follow Yahweh shall, but how he wants us to follow him. See how about that? How he wants us to follow him. So now, get 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, and the 3rd verse. So how do we know the Antichrist is going to be an individual? See? Well, here's how you're going to know. I'm going to show you. It's an individual. Even though the system that the Antichrist is going to be running is from Satan, right? The spiritual Satan, right? But the leader of that system is going to be the Antichrist. Ultimately, that man shall come on this earth, right? And here's what the spirit of Yahushua through Paul, here's what he's going to tell us. Okay? Now, start from that first verse. Start from the first verse, Dawiyad, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 1. Yes.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua, and by our gathering together unto him.
Right, see? See, by our gathering unto Yahushua. Yeah, brother, we got to gather around Yahushua. By the spirit of Yahushua. Okay? Here's how you gather around Yahushua. You got to, and it's through his word, actually. Understand? And this is why we pray every day, and this is why we come and congregate as much as possible, because we want to gather around Yahushua. Because you got to remember, Yahushua said, he that is with me will gather with me. But he that is against me, you scattereth abroad. See? You want to be able to gather with Yahushua. And look, the Christian churches are not gathering with Yahushua. They're not. The Muslims are not gathering with Yahushua. See? The Buddhists, the other religions, Roman Catholics, they're not gathering with Yahushua. Understand? Because they're doing it through what? False religions. False. It has to be done according to the word of Yahushua. And so Most High will. That's what we're trying to do here, right? Go ahead, up. 2nd verse.
Verse 2. That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Yahushua is at hand.
How about that? Even Paul back then was saying it was at hand. Remember, this is 2,000 years ago. He said it's at hand. Then he would tell it through that hand. Is it still at hand? Yes. See? But now it's closer at hand. That's why the Lord said in the end, the effect of every vision is going to take place now. The effect of every prophecy is really going to take place, and you're going to see it manifest. Whereas, 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago, yeah, the prophecies were coming to pass, but they weren't as vivid, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't see it as it manifests right there in front of you as quick as it is now. See? You can see prophecies now come back to back to back to back real fast in a matter of days or weeks. Understand? So that's how it's happening now. Okay? So it says, and that the day of Yahushua is at hand. And so we know it to be at hand now. And so when the day of Yahushua is at hand, who has to be revealed? The Antichrist got to be revealed. He has to be revealed. Otherwise, Yahushua is not coming. He ain't coming for nobody. I don't understand why brothers don't understand that. He ain't coming for nobody unless you see who the Antichrist is. He has to be in the flesh for Yahushua to come and destroy the man. Right? So people, you know, the Christian church think the devil in the ground with a pitchfork, they ain't gonna never see the devil. You're gonna see the devil. I'm saying this is what they think. You're gonna see the devil for real. And this is what they don't understand. You're gonna see him. And yeah, and he's mean and he hates Israelites, he hates the real Jews, and he wants to kill you. And he gets that direct from Satan. All right? Pharaoh tried, right? Nebuchadnezzar tried. Antiochus tried. The main one, Nimrod, tried. Nimrod chased Abraham to the ends of the earth. You got to read the history. They say he knew who Abraham was. He knew Abraham was the son of the Most High. And he tried to destroy Abraham. And they say in some of the histories, Nimrod came with his army, and Nimrod came with his army, and Abraham came by himself. And Nimrod looked at Abraham and said, "Where's your army at?" He says, "You know, I got the Most High with me. I don't need no army." And that sort of befuddled Nimrod. Couldn't believe it. But he always tried. He tried to destroy Abraham back then. Even when Abraham was born, Abraham's father had to hide Abraham a couple of times because Nimrod was after. See, so that's what it says in certain histories. But nevertheless, Yahushua is not coming unless this man is revealed in the flesh. So now you're going to read the third verse out.
Verse 3. We're in the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
See? That's why does it say that? Why does it say that, Dawiyah?
You know, because basically it's just like Barack Obama, for example, he's deceiving our people, you know, believing, thinking he's going to change things.
Right. That and the religious systems are deceiving people, the political systems deceiving people, and of course the economic system is deceiving people, making it you think that you can make it in America and be okay. But it said, don't let no man deceive you. See? Go ahead, up.
For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
Right, see, first the falling away of Israel had to happen. So that's why Paul telling people back then, don't let nobody deceive you. You got to fall first. For your sins against the Most High, you got to fall. Because remember back then, when Yahushua came on the scene, and of course, you know, died for the sins of the nation of Israel, pulling the cross from the nation of Israel, and rose the third day, his disciples asked him, now Yahushua, now are you going to come and restore Jerusalem and restore Israel? Yahushua said, I can't tell you what's in the Most High's mind. It's not for you to know that right now. But the Most High showed Paul. Paul is telling him today, you got to fall first. You got to fall first into captivity, basically. Because everybody's looking for the restoration, right, of Israel. The salvation of Israel. Even back then, they were looking for it. But he said, no. Yeah.
And also, the Gentiles got to be tried now. They got to fall first, too.
Yeah.
See? When you relook.
Right. And so the Gentiles got to fall, correct. So Israel had to fall, right, go into captivity, of course, and then the Most High begin the process of restoring us. But then the Gentiles are going to have to fall too. The Yahushua got to come and destroy them. He got to destroy the works of Satan, the Antichrist, and the vibration of the devil out in the world. All that has to fall before the Israelites can be restored back into the kingdom of heaven. That's it. The salvation of Israel, right? So go ahead, Al.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Right, see what it says? And that man, so it's an individual. It doesn't say man, so many men, right? It doesn't say men. It says man of sin, right? Son of perdition. Man of sin be revealed, son of perdition. Son. Just one particular man. It's a son. Son of who? What's perdition mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the son of hell, or the son of hell. The wicked, right? So he has to be revealed. So that day won't come unless that man of sin is revealed. So when you reveal something, it has to be manifest to your eyes. In your fleshly body, you have to see it. If you don't see it, understand? If nobody sees the Antichrist, then Yahushua is not coming. You're going to be here in captivity for a little while longer. Understand? So you have to see it. That's what it's really saying. This is what Paul is saying. He has to be revealed. Revelation means to do what? Yeah, to reveal, to bring forth out in the open, to manifest. Right? So, okay, go ahead, Al.
Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped?
Okay, so now, like we said, Antichrist meaning somebody who opposes, right? He opposes the Most High.
The increasing
Meaning,
diversity of
he
America's
knows the
population,
commandments.
the dangers of
That's what?
sectarianism are greater than ever. Whatever we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation, at least not just. We are also a Jewish nation, a Muslim nation, and a Buddhist nation, and a Hindu nation, and a nation of non-believers. And even if we did have only Christians in our midst, if we expelled every non-Christian from the United States of America, whose Christianity would we teach in the schools? Would it be James Dobson's or Al Sharps's? Which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Should we go with Leviticus, which suggests slavery is okay, and that eating shellfish is an abomination? Or we could go with Deuteronomy, which suggests stoning your child if he strays from the faith? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount, a passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application? So before we get carried away, let's read our Bibles now. Folks haven't been reading the Bible.
And some of the reasons why I believe this is a key date, and a date that I always have my eye on every year. And up to this point, nothing major has ever happened on this date. But symbolically, this year, something major could be happening. The White House has not confirmed anything on Barack Obama, but Israel is confirming that Barack Obama will be in Israel on the 20th. Now, when you look into 322 and Skull and Bones, you have to do your research. And for those of you that are caught up on it, this comes down to Nimrod worship and Semiramis and sun god worship. Luciferians, they believe in the Virgin, in the Sun, Moloch. And they have depicted Barack Obama in so many ways as being the Messiah. Everyone from Jamie Foxx, Chris Rock, to other people, Newsweek coming out saying he's the God of all things. And he will be mocking what Jesus Christ did. As in 33 AD, Jesus entered Israel 6 days before Passover. And now you will have Barack Obama for the first time in his presidency entering Israel 6 days before Passover, riding metaphorically on the back of the donkey of the Democratic Party. And also to be shown with the metaphoric 33, this is the 33rd year for the Georgia Guidestones. So this area, this date, this range of the 20th to 22nd, and then a whole week after, all the way up to April 1st, is pretty key for this year to see what happens and to see what Barack Obama does while he is in Israel.
U.S. President Barack Obama will visit Israel in the spring, marking his first visit to the staunch U.S. ally since becoming president. Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussed the visit by phone in late January, when Obama congratulated Netanyahu on his success in Israel's recent election. The White House has not released the date of Obama's trip or details about Obama's itinerary, but Israel's Channel 10 reported that a visit had been scheduled for March 20th. Although Obama visited Israel while running for president in 2008, he has not been back since, drawing intense criticism from some pro-Israel groups who have claimed he is insufficiently supportive of America's...
The Bernie segment tonight is expected the national media having a great time today, marking the second inauguration of their guy, President Obama. The online magazine Newsweek has presented this to its readers, the second coming. Not exactly sure about the first coming here. I don't know what they're really referring to. I hope they're not comparing the president to Jesus. I hope not. With us now here in New York, purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. And you say?
I say, what do you think they mean when they say the second coming? I mean, literally, they mean his second term in office.
Yeah.
But the term, the second coming, has connotations, and they're religious connotations. And this is the same magazine, by the way, that a few months ago, back in last spring, ran a cover with Barack Obama with a halo around his head. And this is the same magazine where the guy who wrote the cover story, Evan Thomas, referred to Barack Obama as a kind of God. This isn't journalism, Bill. This is idolatry.
I didn't read the story. I'm sorry I didn't get to it today. I should have read it. Did you read it?
No, I didn't read the whole story. I saw the cover and I said, is this a parody? As a matter of fact, while I'm saying parody, in 2009, National Review, the conservative magazine, ran a parody. Okay, this is it. They ran a parody.
The same cover.
Yeah, and it's a cover of Newsweek, and it says, it has a smiling picture of Barack Obama, and it says, better than FDR, cooler than JFK. There it is. The one on the left, everybody, is a parody. Better than FDR, cooler than JFK. The one on the right is a real cover. Now you tell me, which is the goofier cover, the second coming or the parody
I just want to be fair here. So Goldberg and I, well, I don't have a beef because I don't know. So Goldberg doesn't have a beef about the articles. We don't know what's in the article because Newsweek doesn't publish anymore. They're online. But the covers obviously are deifying to some extent.
I'm saying they've tried, many in the mainstream media for 4 years have tried to turn Barack Obama into a messiah. And those of us who said that have been either dismissed or laughed off or whatever. Here it is, a messiah, the second coming.
Against something. So you don't think Esau know the commandment? Yeah. Esau knows his laws. He studies it, he knows it. And Esau studied his more. But being rebellious, he's the one that being in opposition to the Mosai. Put it like that. He's being in opposition. And he exalts himself. So as he's in opposition to the Mosai, he's going to exalt himself. Right? So he says Mother Nature brought the hurricane. And then he makes you think that what? That his science is able to detect when the hurricane comes and able to control the hurricane, which they do have that ability, which they do in some effects, in some ways, control weather patterns and storms and hurricane tornadoes. And they got that through their heart machine, right? And they said they did the same thing with Hurricane Sandy, where they controlled it and drove it up the east coast of the United States. And it made it turn right, it made it turn quick left into, no storm does that, no quick turns like that. No storm turns on a dime like that. Understand? No hurricane does that. See? So Esau drove that thing. Understand? So they have that ability. So he opposes and exalts himself. Understand? He makes himself, puts himself over the Most High. So when he says America was created by Big Bang theory, right? Big Bang, he's exalting himself. That's wicked. That's evil. He's exalting himself. He's not giving the Most High credit. When he says man, came from apes, he's exalting himself. He's not giving the Most High credit, so he's putting himself over the Most High. When he says he's a pope or pontiff, he's putting himself over the Most High. Understand?
Changing time as well.
Changing times and laws, right? Putting himself over the Most High, once again. See? So, and then you can go on and on, right? Okay, go ahead, Al.
So that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Right. So he gonna sit in the temple of the Most High. This is literal. And in the last days, during the Great Tribulation period, right, the Antichrist is coming to sit in the temple in Jerusalem. He will come in there and he will take it back over and he's gonna sit there. As if he's what? The Most High. And that's why he's going to build that statue. And that statue is going to be a replica of who the Antichrist is. And all the people of earth are going to come and bow down to that statue. That's what Nebuchadnezzar did. Understand? Nebuchadnezzar was like the forerunner of what the Antichrist is going to do today. And remember, when you read it, you didn't bow down to that statue of Nebuchadnezzar, what happened? You were killed. You were killed. That's what's coming, brother. You were killed. That's what's coming. See? That's why they're getting all these different, they're using these hurricane tornadoes to experiment with martial law. They had it in Far Rockaway. They had it here when the hurricane had it. The bridges closed down, had everything closed down. That's martial law. Right? And some news reports, they were saying New York is in martial law. They were saying it. And then they had the troops out and everybody, and National Guard out, right? So it was like martial law. So they get everything prepared for that. So if you don't bow down to the image, you won't be able to buy or sell. Understand what the scripture says. You don't receive that mark, you won't be able to buy or sell. That's it. Finished. So that's why Yahushua, brother, Yahushua is our way out of this. Understand? So that's why it says the gathering, right? In that first verse, the gathering, and by our gathering together unto him, see? Okay, that's going to be our only way. See? Out. And so what Yahushua is saying, I was with you, right? And when I was with you, I told you this was going to happen. So Israel was told back then, they're being told now that these things are going to happen, right? That this Antichrist shall come, right? But Israel, they don't listen. So our people are stubborn and hard-headed. They don't listen. So a lot of our people are going to be caught. They're going to be caught in this thing, and they're going to be pretty much put to death. It's going to happen. Okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
Right, so know ye not that know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed. Who withholdeth? The Most High is doing this. He's the one that holdeth things up and is going to bring forth the revelation of the Antichrist. He's going to do it, okay? In his time, understand? So he has to be revealed in his time. Now's the time for him to be revealed, understand? Now is that time. You in the end times now. This is the end times, right? So he has to be revealed as such. When Nimrod was the leader back then, he was the rebellious one, but he wasn't known as the Antichrist. He was the Antichrist, wasn't known as. This man today is going to be known as the Antichrist. Understand? Although a lot of people might not believe it. It's going to tell you to read on down. A lot of people are not going to believe it. But we going to know it. We're going to know it for sure. Go ahead, up.
Verse 7. For the mysteries of iniquity doeth already work.
See? So what was the Most High saying in Yahushua? It's already at work even during that time. The mystery of sin. The mystery of iniquity. Understand? The mystery of sin. The mystery of the son of perdition. It's already at work. It was already at work because who was ruling back then?
The Romans.
The Romans were ruling. So it was already at work. That's what he was saying. It was already at work. Go ahead, up.
Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
Yeah, only he will now let will let until he be taken out of the way. See? And that's the Most High and Yahushua. Because like in Luke 21:24, it tells you a dispensation of time for the Gentiles. They have a dispensation of time to rule. Until what? They be taken out of the way. So he's going to be revealed in his time. Understand? And there's a certain measure of time when the Most High going to reveal him. And then he going to do what he got to do. And then he going to be taken out of the way by Yahushua. Okay? Go ahead, up.
Verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed.
See? That wicked shall be revealed. Yeah.
Back at verse 7, when it said, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. And then it tell you, it might take you a lot of time. So that, like that showing you that it's nothing just going to pop up so. It's something already
Established. Yes.
established.
Yeah. Yeah, the Antichrist is already established. But you're not gonna understand him being on the scene until it's time. Understand? So let's say you take Barack Obama, for instance, right? Now Barack Obama, of course, he was a little boy, and he was already being groomed from a little boy. But nobody knew it, right? Until his time to be what? Be president, be in the Senate for a couple of years and be president. Then when he came on the world scene, so then everybody sees him, but he was groomed from a little boy. He was groomed from high school, college. They made sure every step of the way that they were with him, and they made sure that he stayed in line with what they wanted him to do. So he was already on the scene. So the mystery of iniquity has already been at work for thousands of years. Understand? So it's already established, it just has to be revealed, and people got to know that that's the man. Okay. Go ahead, up.
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
See, the spirit of his mouth, see? So the spirit of his mouth is what? The Bible. He gonna consume, right, the wicked, the Antichrist, the spirit of the word. Understand? Of his mouth. That's why we go out there and teach. Because Esau is being consumed when he hear the truth, when he hear us speak. This is really literally consuming him. Understand? It's really literally consuming him. Because this is our protection. Every time we go out there and speak this word, we get stronger and stronger. The angels increase and increase and increase and increase. That's why we got to keep doing it. Keep doing it. Because we gain strength. While we speak the word, Esau is being weakened, we're getting more power. That's how we got to do this. Our power's in Yahushua. So you think you're going to go home and lift weights and learn karate and all that? Ain't no power in that. That's only a certain measure of technique and warfare. But you need spiritual power, brother. Understand? You need spiritual power. See? Samson beat down 1,000 men and killed 1,000 men with drawbone of an ass, but he needed spiritual power to do it. And if that power didn't come from the heavens and put power in that jawbone, you know what I'm saying? Then what would he have? Nothing. See? The power is in the word. Every time we speak it, Esau gets weaker and weaker. That's why we got to speak it more and more and more. See? And it says speak with power. Understand? Speak with power and wisdom and knowledge and bring it out in power. And it says don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This is what he told Ezekiel, right? Don't be afraid. He told Jeremiah. Don't tell me you're too young for this. Don't tell me that, man. He told Job, gird up your loins like a man. Shut up! And gird up your loins like a man. Come here! And when I talk to you, listen. See? That's what we tell him to do. Telling Ezekiel the same thing. Don't be afraid of their faces. They're only a nation of Israel. I mean, you know them already. Bunch of stubborn-ass Negroes. You know them. See? So you can't be timid dealing with Israel or the nations. Understand? Don't be timid, man. Because Israel will try to intimidate you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what they will do.
Yeah. And you'll be afraid and you'll back down and, you know, that's it. See? Then that spirit in you is gone. You know what I'm saying? Can't be afraid. So the same thing here, brother. Okay? It says, Yahweh shall consume them with the spirit of his mouth, see? Which we know is the word, which he uses his apostles and disciples and prophets to teach his word. So that same spirit got to be in you, like Yahweh shall. Because using his word to consume them. Understand? Okay, go ahead, Al.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yeah, of course. And then finally, when Yahweh Shai comes, the brightness of his coming is going to, that's the climax of their destruction. See? Go ahead, Al.
Verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Whose coming is after the working of Satan? The Antichrist. Who's he getting his power from? Satan. The spiritual Satan. That's where he gets his power from. So the Antichrist is not even Satan. He's just the son of Satan. That's what he is. See? So the real power is coming from Satan himself. Understand? So that's who he get his power from. And I gotta tell you, the Antichrist gonna have power, bro. Come on. Along with the false prophet, they're gonna have power. They're gonna have some power. I mean, the pharaohs of Egypt had power. And their witches and warlocks, they had power. They were able to, do things, and bring and manifest things from the spiritual world into the flesh. They were able to do certain things on a spiritual level. Yeah.
The scripture says you shall call fire from heaven.
Yeah, you should call fire from heaven. Right? And so he's going to have a certain amount of power. Understand? They show you in some of these movies. That movie, The Mummy. You ever see that movie?
Yeah. Sandstorms.
Yeah, sandstorms and all that. Okay, go ahead, Up.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Signs and lying wonders. Say, how about that? Right? They'll make you believe he's Yahushua. They already called Barack Obama the Messiah, the one. See? They're making people believe he's this great guy. See? And all Satan got to do is give him some power. I'm just going spiritual power and all that. And he's sold. These people are sold. He's going to be the one. See? And they're going to believe it. Because it's going to tell you. Go ahead, up.
Verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Yeah, see, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they're going to be deceived. They're unrighteous. Anyway, this is talking about our people too.
Right.
Not just the Gentiles who follow him, but the ones of our people. They are deceived. And because they follow, they're unrighteous in their works, the Lord's going to allow them to be deceived. The Lord even said, if a prophet be deceived, it's the Lord that deceived them. Understand? So that's why he told the disciples, speak in parables. To the people, he spoke in parables. Because they have eyes, and they see not, and they have ears, they hear not. Lest they wake up and see with their eyes and hear with their ears. See? Because he knew that most of our people, a lot of our people were stubborn. See? They didn't care about it. So why, he said, don't cast the truth before swine. Your pearls before swine. Understand? So they're not going to wake up anyway. They don't care anyway. So he says, speak to them in parable. But he knows that the ones of his chosen, his elect, they're going to get it. They're going to understand. See? And it was meant for them. But he said, unto the rest, you speak in parables. Because it's not meant for them. So a lot of our people are just going to be, they're really living to die. They're living to be used for the sacrifice whenever that time comes. Trayvon Martin was, a sacrifice. Your Lord used him for that purpose. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be like that with a lot of our people. But it's going to be in masses, you know what I'm saying? Masses of our people being put to death like that on that level. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
Because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
They don't love the truth, Al. See? It's the love of this, what the Most High wants. See? The Most High don't want you to be constrained to do this. See? Okay, I'll do it. I'll come to the Sabbath. I don't want to, but I'll come anyway because that's what the Most... No, see, if you got to do that, if you got to come like that, nobody wants you like that. You don't want somebody that's going to be, feel like they're burdened to come serve the Most High. You don't want nobody like that. See? Let's try to ask your son to do something. He's like, I don't want to do it, Dad. Okay. Then he ain't going to do a good job, is he? He's not going to do it. He doesn't do it with love. See? To the Most High, I don't want nobody like that. I wouldn't want nobody like that either. My kids do that, so the man don't do it. Get out of here. I'll whoop your behind. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here! That's what I tell my kids sometimes. You gotta be like that. I don't, Understand? So the Most High want the same thing. See? He wants you to love the truth. Meaning do it with joy. Even if you're not getting paid for it, right? We gotta do this even without pay. Because the Most High gotta know if you doing this, if you're gonna do this with love, or you're gonna do it because you know you're gonna, get paid for it. Then the Most High don't want you, brother. See? So that's why we gotta do this in the spirit of truth and righteousness and love. And faith and love go together. See? How you gonna have faith and then don't love the Most High? It just doesn't work, does it? How you gonna love the Most High but then don't have faith? That doesn't work, does it? See? So faith and love go together. You gotta love this thing, right? It's because they that receive not the love of the truth. Go ahead, up.
Verse 11.
Right.
And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Right, see? The strong delusion is what? A lie. That Barack Obama will help them in their economic problems. That's a lie. See? Strong delusion. That he's a black man, and because he's the first black president, he's going to help black people. It's a strong delusion. And so they're going to vote for him again. They voted for him again, and he's not going to do nothing for them again.
Gonna do more of nothing.
More of nothing, right. Strong delusion. Yeah.
Everybody tax raising the 1st of January.
Yeah, say it again?
Everybody tax raising the 1st of January.
Yeah, 1st of January. Taxes are going to be raises. Right. And so where's the help? And then in March, here comes Obamacare, a part of the Obamacare bill. See?
And that's with the chip.
That's with the chip. And you gotta be part of that. You gotta take part of that Obamacare. Otherwise, the IRS gonna come down on you. You're gonna owe them money. See? So strong delusion. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Verse 12. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
Right, see? So they're all going to be damned who believe not the truth. How about that? So the ones of our people who don't believe this, and there's a whole lot of our people, right? They're damned already. So when it comes time for martial law and everything, what's going to happen with them? See? Yeah. A lot of them are going to get death. Remember, the scripture said that 1,000 shall fall on your right side and 1,000 on your left side. That's literal, huh? Y'all think that's going to be like, No, that's literal. You're going to see hundreds of people, boom, put to death right all around you. And you're the only one like standing in that bunch. The Most High delivered you out of it. That's how it's going to come. 1,000 shall fall, right? Because they believe not the love of the truth. Now, get 1 John 4, 4th chapter, and the first verse. Okay. Shai, read that for me. 1 John 4:1.
1 John chapter 4 verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High.
Right, see? Beloved, believe not in every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High. Go ahead, Al.
Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Right, see? So you have to try the spirit, by the spirit. See? And some brothers out there who think that they know the Most High's truth, right, and word, are convincing. See? They're convincing. But you gotta try them. See? That's why you gotta be mature in these scriptures. And you hear somebody prophesying, but you gotta try them. Because if it ain't from the Most High and Yahushua, who's it from? It's Satan. And you got a lot of them out there, false prophets. You got a lot of them out there, brother. Even amongst Israel. Sorry to say, but even amongst Israel, right? False prophets. Understand? So that's why sometimes if you're not sure, you go to the Most High and ask the Most High. You ask the Most High, was he teaching the right thing? Should I follow that person? Should I listen to what that individual is saying? And the Most High will show you. He will cause something to happen to show you that ain't the one I want you to follow. We just cause something to happen. And in your spirit, you'll know, man, the Most High showed me that. See? You understand?
And Barak,
Yeah.
you have to touch a point to where Israelites out there teaching that is a system is the Antichrist.
Yeah.
You have to touch on that.
Yeah, because I was bringing that, I'll touch on that point. But yeah, some brothers think the system is the Antichrist, the 666. Understand? But the system is the vibration of, okay, the 666. But it has to bring itself down to an individual. It has to go that route. Okay? Because when you read the Bible, yeah, Rome is the beast. America's part of the beast. Europe, part of the beast. Okay? You have the 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? That's what John said. I seen a beast rise up out of the sea, and it had 7 heads and 10 horns. See? You understand? Egypt is part of that beast. I said Babylon, Assyria's part of the beast. Babylon's part of the beast. Persian, Greek Empire, Roman Empire, Ottoman Empire, America, Britain, they're all part of the beast. But these are all like world empires, right? And then what's going to happen? It's going to bring itself down to an individual. That individual is going to control all those world empires. See? That's why it says the 10 horns shall give their strength unto the beast. It's talking about this individual. They're going to make him the leader. And these 10 horns are going to control 10 regions of the earth. And they're going to give their strength unto the beast, where the beast is going to be, the Antichrist is going to be the leader of it all. Global. World, new world order, economic, global economy. See? Whatever you want to call it. So he's right about that. So when brothers say it's just a system, well, yeah, that's the Antichrist is part of a system, but he's going to be running the system. Go ahead, Al.
Hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of the Most High.
Right. See, if you confess that Yahushua has come in the flesh, it is of the Most High. Now, a lot of people say, well, all I got to say is Yahushua. All I got to say is Jesus. And I'm saying, it doesn't mean that. Why would the Lord just have you just say my name and that's it? What goes along with that?
His word.
Yeah, His word. His commandments, laws, statutes. You got to confess and do it. I just say it. Right? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to say the name Yahushua, but you're not going to keep His commandment.
You got brothers out there like that.
Huh?
You got brothers out there like that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. That's like saying to my son, yeah, son, say my name, but you ain't got to keep my rules in my house. It's okay. Come on, does that make any sense? I would beat his ass. Yeah, I'm going to call you my father and my dad, but I'm not going to keep the rules of your house, so you're going to whoop his behind. That doesn't show any faith and love, right? So it's the same thing, brother. You know, your kids say, Daddy, Daddy. That shows love, right? That's my father. But then they're not going to obey you when you say, you know, take out the garbage. They're going to disobey you. So what good are you saying, Daddy, Daddy? You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? So what good are you saying, Yahushua, help me? I'm saying Yahushua, and then I don't do none of his commandments. So confessing meaning you got to have faith in his laws too. You got to show it through action. Sometimes action is important, man. See? A lot of people don't do church. Christian churches, this thing, you just got to say it and that's it, and they go out there and sin. See? And they get it all wrong. They get it all mixed up. Understand? And then the next one, third verse.
Verse 3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahushua is come in the flesh is not of the Most High.
Yeah, see? If they don't confess not that Yahushua is coming in the flesh, they're not of the Most High. So what are they, brother? Go ahead.
And this is that spirit of Antichrist.
They're the devil, too. The spirit of Antichrist.
And this is Israel.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They're the spirit of Antichrist, brother. Meaning they don't confess the commandments. Understand? They don't confess the word. The word says this is what the Most High and Yahushua want you to do. They don't confess that. They just think, just say the name, and then they say the wrong name, Jesus. That's Satan right there too. Jesus is Satan. Jesus is not Yahushua. That's right. I'm telling you that. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Most High wink at our ignorance. But really that name, Jesus Christ, really has a wicked vibration to it. Greek word, Latin word, understand? It denotes evil. When our people sort of, where they say it in the churches, with that cadence and all that, they say it like that. Understand? They're summoning Satan to the church. And then they make you think that they're holy. They got a holy demon in them. They got a demon in them. So they're summoning Satan, and they don't even realize it. I know he had his hand.
Yeah, well, that goes back to the Greek form of the sun god Helios.
Yeah.
Helios. It's Helios, the one that was in was in Rome. So that's what Jesus actually means. Helios.
They're summoning the demon to the church. That's what Satan is at in all the churches.
So I was just going to say that if you really look at it, all, no matter from growing up to now, all of the preachers and the female preachers and the male preachers, all of them preach the same exact way.
Same exact way. Correct.
Roman Catholic.
It's like they have to be taught that demonic way of teaching, because that's what Satan wants in the churches.
Yeah, you got a brother. You got a brother that was I was watching on YouTube, and he came out of it.
Yeah.
He came out of the church, whatever. He found out he was Israel, and he was admitting to it. He said he was taught how to preach.
How to preach, yeah.
They teach you what they want you to do.
Because that's how Satan wants them to do it, so that they can reverence Satan in the churches.
And he said, he said for years, he thought he was doing the right thing. He said he didn't know.
Right, of course, right. But the Most High will bring some more people out. But the ones who admit, who accept the fact that they were, in that lie and repent. That's all. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead, I'll finish reading that. This is the spirit of Antichrist. Go ahead.
And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come. And even now it is already in the world.
There it is. See, it's already in the world. It's been in the world, actually. See? This was 2,000 years ago. He's writing this, right? Now he says already in the world. So it's been in the world since then and now, right? And what does Obama say about the Bible? Hates the Bible. He said it.
He said that?
He says, if you read the Old Testament, you know what I'm saying, where it says eye for an eye, you know what I'm saying? And do unto others, and you would have them do unto you. He said, who can believe a Bible such as that?
You have to re-examine that.
Yeah, you have to re-examine.
He said, hold on.
Yeah, he said all that, brother.
So
Google it and YouTube it. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it. Go
You
ahead.
know, his mother, Edomite, she was a humanist. And a humanist is just a new word for atheist.
Atheist, right?
Okay.
That's what that. Whenever anybody tell you they're humanist, humanitarian,
Yeah.
they're atheist.
They're atheists,
Like
right.
Gates and Buffett.
Yeah.
And Oprah Winfrey just became about 10 years a humanitarian.
Humanitarian, right.
Well, they devote all of their money to killing off the genocide of the world.
Yeah.
That's what a humanitarian is.
Yeah.
A humanist.
So that's what he said about certain things in the Bible. So slowly but surely he's showing who he really is. But he's being groomed. See? He ain't coming out fully. See? Plus he had to get reelected. So he has to.
I did hear his speech when he was saying, they asked him something about Christmas, and he was saying, he said, no, that's for my wife and her people.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
how
he
about
said
that?
I saw that one. I did see
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
He said, that's for my wife and her people.
Yeah. And then the brother showed me a picture with Obama with Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
He's wearing that shirt, Aleister Crowley, on his shirt. Obama was wearing that shirt. Aleister Crowley is the top Satanist of the world. One of the top Satanists of the world.
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He's a Satanist. He teaches people how to worship Satan. And look it up, Aleister Crowley. And Obama was wearing his t-shirt.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, you see a lot of stuff like that. Okay, now Revelation 6 and 1, if you guys don't mind. Revelation 6 and 1. Okay, read that up. You got it? Shy, go ahead. Revelation 6 and 1.
Revelation chapter 6 verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see.
Right, so this is the seals. Now the seals are going to be open, right, during the beginning of the tribulation period and so forth. They're going to be opened, right, by Yahushua. He's the only one that prevailed to open the seals, right? So he's going to begin to open them, right? And the first seal is this is the first seal. And right, and we read in the second verse, it says what? Go ahead, up.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
I seen a white horse. Go ahead.
And he that sat on him had a bow.
Had a bow. How about that? That's like something used as a killing instrument. Right, go ahead.
And a crown was given unto him.
Yeah, he had a crown. That means he was in a position of what? Power, leadership, right? Go ahead.
And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Right. So you can understand, this is not Yahushua. I know a lot of people in the past have thought that, right? But this is not Yahushua, because it does tell you in Revelation in 19 that Yahushua is coming in a white horse, right? It does tell you that. But this is not Yahushua right here, right? So here it tells you that this particular individual has a crown, he has a bow, and he's coming to conquer. See? He's coming to conquer nations. Didn't say he's coming to conquer for righteousness. Didn't say, you understand? He just said he's coming to conquer. That's all it says. Right? Yeah.
You were right, because Wednesday we was out there teaching this Ephraimite girl. She had this scripture messed up because she said Christ is the devil, but she didn't have the proper understanding.
Really? She used this scripture?
She knew that's what she was trying to say.
She was trying to say
that from.
Right.
Oh,
She
okay.
didn't know the difference between, like you said, the white.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't know
Right.
the breakdown.
Understand? So try to understand, brother. This he's coming to conquer, because this is why now you got, Obama, quiet as it kept. You got the CIA all over the world, conquering nations all over the world. I mean, you just hear of course, Iraq and Afghanistan, Libya, the Arab world, pretty much. They're pretty much going on to conquer.
Remember, he said, if you think I'm a whip, and
Right.
I came to office, I get 25 not to kill, I kill 22.
Right.
He
Exactly.
said that, if you think I'm a whip,
Yeah, he did
I
say
have
that.
25 men to kill, and I killed 22 in 3 years. So am I really a whip?
Yeah. Right.
He's letting you know.
He's letting you know. Understand? So you gotta know the spirit that's in the man.
Was on the front page of the paper.
Yeah, you gotta know the spirit that's in him. He has that spirit in him. Understand? And he didn't have to be in no military or join the military. He has a spirit in him of conquering. And so they conquering all these Arab nations, brother. And to turn them into what? Making them take on democracy. If you don't do it, we'll destroy you. We'll put disease. We'll bring down your economic system. We'll kill your leader. Yeah, Prazo.
Yeah, and also, he's going to be conquering them, not so much with his military might.
Right.
Because when you read here, he was given a bow.
Right.
But the bow is just the instrument.
Just the instrument, right.
He wasn't, it didn't say he had the arrows with him.
The arrow's not there.
Right.
Notice that, yeah.
So when you read in Daniel, it said he won't conquer them with the spirit, with his mouth.
Right.
His flattery.
Flattery. That's
so
important.
The bow is just, you know, the fear.
Yeah.
Well, I got nuclear bombs.
I got this, I got that, right.
Yeah.
And he'll use all kinds of different strategies and philosophies and deception to destroy nations. Yeah, some people he gonna have to conquer through killing, but for the most part, it's through the philosophy and deception.
It's keep you in fear.
Keep you in fear.
And actually, it's just the people around him. He's just the front man talking and taking the credit for it.
Taking the credit.
Because he's just like I said, he's just a black band-aid on a white cloth.
Yeah. But remember, the Antichrist gonna have all this power with him. People are gonna support him.
Sorcery and everything.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The Illuminati support him. The military support him. The CIA support him. Understand? He has all this, the scientific world. Everything now is going to be have a way of being spiraling down to support the Antichrist. Everything. See, that's in this system. All right?
And even
everything. Yes.
Okay, even with the election with them. See, with the election that happened.
Yeah.
I remember like Sabar and some brother text me was losing. So I said, let me put the TV in it. He was losing.
Right.
And 2 minutes later he declared win.
He declared win. 2 minutes later. Yeah.
He never want none of these black people votes. It was the electoral vote. He just need 270 votes to win.
Right, that's it.
But yet you have millions of people voting and he just need 270 votes. So he made them feel like saying, listen, I'm going to select you when he was done selecting already.
But he's right.
No, they have about
270 votes, of course, electoral votes, but millions and millions of people vote. But all he needs is 270. So the electoral process, let them go through the whole process. Let all the people vote. We know who we want. Let them all vote. Let them all vote. That happened 3 times in history where the electoral college picked the president. They didn't pick him anyway, but I'm saying where it was showed the electoral college said no, we don't want the one who won the popular vote. We want the one we want. They said in 1866, 1868, in the year 2000, of course, when Gore won the popular vote, but Bush won the electoral vote, and everybody was mad as hell because Gore won in their eyes, but the elite said, we want who we want. See? And so they picked who they want. Right? The same thing here. Obama was their man from the beginning. Right? So now, that was it on that, right? I just want to show you that. Okay, and then, see, Revelation 13. Go to Revelation 13 right quick. Now, Yeshaya, you're going to start the 8th verse, but then we'll move up from there. Start the 8th verse, Yeshaya.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Right. Now all the people of the world, right, of the earth shall worship him. Talking about who? The beast. Understand? It's talking about the beast. So it's going to wind itself down to an individual person. Understand? Now even though in Revelation 13, right, it'll show you that about the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? And the 7 heads, you know what the 7 heads are? I'm going to name them. The 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads are these. Egypt, it has to be biblical. It has to come from the Bible. Okay? All the world empires you read about in the Bible. Egypt is one. Okay? The Assyrian Empire, right? 2. Babylonian Empire, right? 3. And you read about it in Daniel also. Persian Empire, right? Understand? The Greek Empire, right? The Roman Empire, right? And then you have pretty much the extension of the Roman Empire, you got the Ottoman Empire, right? And then of course, who's after that? Well, America is an extension of the Ottoman Empire, all right? And when you read Revelation 17, it tells you about the eighth that came out of the seven. See? There's the eighth that came out of the seven. America is an extension of all those empires. Understand? Understand? But those are the seven heads. But now, and then it has the 10 horns. See? And it tell you, but the 10 horns are going to have crowns on their head. It gives you to understand they're going to be individuals. It's going to show you that. Yeah, Mike.
Okay, so in that order, the last one would be the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah, Ottoman Empire.
And that's where that goes in with the eighth.
You're right. Okay. America came out of the Ottoman Empire. All right? And that would be like, of course you had Britain.
Yeah.
Okay? And then America. America is, of course, coming from Britain. But Britain coming out of the Ottoman Empire also.
Oh, so it would be Ottoman, then Britain.
Well, yeah, you can put Britain on there, but America is the main power that came out of there. But you have Britain too, because Britain is like the mother.
Yeah.
Britain is the mother.
Yeah, and show that example. You have the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
The horns, she has 7 horns on her head.
Right.
Those are 7 horns of rulership.
Right.
And going back to Babylon,
right.
Semiramis.
Well, right. And so that's why it says now, when you jump to the first verse, Yeshaya, jump to the first verse.
Verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, see? So this beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? So those are the 7 heads which we named. The 10 horns are these 10 leaders of the earth. And I'm not going to say European common market. The reason why I'm not going to say that, because some of these 10 horns are going to come out of the European common market, right? But it may not, some of them might not be part of the 10 horns, who's part of the European common market now. Understand? But they're going to be 10 horns, right? And 10 horns meaning they're going to have power. Horn represents they're going to have power, and they're going to have crowns on their head. They're going to be 10 individual men. That's why it says when they have crowns, giving you the understanding, they're going to be 10 individuals. And they're going to rule the earth globally. And the Antichrist, they're going to give their power to the Antichrist. The Antichrist is going to be over it all. This is how they're going to come, yeah.
So the 10 men will be like 10 leaders.
10 leaders, 10 kings. Right. And the Antichrist is pretty much going to select them, or the Illuminati, with the Illuminati, select them and put them and position them where they're going to position.
Like in the region?
10 different regions, yeah. They're going to rule 10 different regions of the earth. It's already pegged out.
Yeah, they started already.
Yeah, it's already pegged out. Yeah.
You know, with the NWA, they with Canada,
right.
America, I mean, Canada's going straight down to Mexico, and then they divided it into 3 sections.
Yeah.
So those 3 sections,
yeah.
That's where they're going to pick the leaders from.
Yeah. It's already pegged out. We just don't know who those leaders are going to be, but it's already pegged out. So that's what it means. And the beast rise up out of the sea. Understand? Having 7 heads and 10 horns. Understand? So this beast is going to show itself ultimately to be the Antichrist. Yeah, it started like a world empire, like with Rome, right? And bringing itself down from Rome, the Greeks to Romans, right? Ottoman Empire down to Britain, America, right? All part of the beast, but now it's going to wind itself down to one individual, right? And then it says 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. See, men, the names of lies. They're all about lies, politics and lies. Lying against the Most High. Understand? So the 10 crowns meaning there'll be 10 individuals, right? And so, and then when you read the second verse, Yeshaya, go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and his great authority.
See? So the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. It has the body of a leopard. Think about that. And his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Now when you read in Daniel, who is represented as the leopard?
Greek.
Right. Who is represented as the bear?
Should be Russian. Persian.
Persian. Who is represented as the lion? Babylon. Right. So you got to go with the scriptures. I know a lot of brothers say the bear is Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say that. I know they say that. But you got to go with the scriptures say. It's better to go with the scriptures say rather than, you know what I'm saying? So, the body is the leopard with the feet of a bear, the mouth of a lion, and this shows that it's going to be the revived Roman Empire in its last stage, a characteristic of the three beasts of Daniel. See? Because remember, their whole thing is to revive what? The Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, to revive it. Understand? But the majority of the characteristic of the beast is going to be Grecian, because that's the body. Understand? So and then it says, right? The dragon, right? What does it say? The dragon gave him what? Seat and great authority and power. So the Antichrist is going to be over this. Understand? So which Esau is still going to be there, right? The Greeks, Romans, that's Esau. They're still going to be there. But the Antichrist is going to run this thing. Understand? This global world thing. And it's going to have the 7 heads, meaning these nations that were world empires at one time in history are going to be under the Antichrist. The Egyptians. What did they do to Egypt just now? They took it over. And they told the leader to get the hell out of here.
He's in prison.
He's in prison.
In a hospital bed.
In a hospital bed. So they got Egypt. Egypt was a world power at the time. But now, the Antichrist took it over. See? Persian and Mede Empire. The Persians are who? Iran and them. They're trying to get Iran. Iran is showing itself kind of difficult, right? But guess what? They're going to get it. Because prophecy has to come to pass. They're going to get them. Understand? They're going to get the Persians. They're going to get them. The Assyrians, right? They're going to get them. Right? And the Babylonians. Okay? They pretty much, which are today the modern day Ethiopians, right? Right? They got Iraq.
They followed Iraq.
Right. I mean, that's where it was at that time, in ancient time.
Kuwait too.
Okay, Kuwait. So they're getting all the Arab world. Right? And so, and then of course, Greece and Rome. It's all part of it. So they getting it all back together, bro. See, that's why you got to go with the scripture say. Understand? And then it says, who gave him this seat and power and great authority? Satan! That's who's running this deal here. Satan is giving Barack Obama, the United States, this seat and great authority, and Britain is right along with them. Understand? So go ahead, Yeshaya.
Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads, as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Right, see? I saw one of his heads, right, as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound. What was wounded to death in history, when you read history?
Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire is one of the 7 heads. So one of those heads was wounded to death. Meaning Rome was pretty much fell and destroyed as a ruling empire. Right? during pretty much from 193 AD, they say in history, when Septimius Severus took it over. He was a black man, he was an Israelite, he took it over. Right, pretty much starting from there. But I mean, as a world empire, it was still ruling, but up, you know, in you know, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd century, they started fizzling out. And these barbarian invaders and so forth came and took it over. And then, of course, you had the Byzantine Empire and so forth. And then of course, it was split from the East Empire and West Empire of the Roman Empire. But the Israelites were ruling these empires now. But still, nonetheless, it was wounded to death. See? Well, actually, what's going to happen? If this happened on a broad level as a world empire, when they were wounded to death, it's going to happen individually to the Antichrist. The Antichrist is going to be wounded to death. Somebody's going to kill him. All right, somebody's going to kill him with a sword. Because what did it say, Shai? Read it again.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Yeah. Somebody's going to kill it. When was Rome revived? Anybody know? What do they call it in history? The Renaissance period. His deadly wound was healed. We ruled Europe for 1,000 years, Dark Ages. Then when they were healed, Mosai brought them out of the caves of Europe, right? Brought them out of the caves of Europe. And then we slowly started losing these different empires that we were ruling in Europe. See? We started slowly, we lost Spain, we lost France, we lost Germany, we lost Britain. You know, ultimately I think Britain was like one of the last ones.
Russia.
Russia and Britain, yeah. We were one of the last ones that we lost. So, and because what? Their deadly wound was healed. And in the 14th century, when they got together with the Arab world, right, the Ottoman Turks. That was the Arab world and Esau came together. See, to take down who? To take down the Byzantine Empire. That was us. And Byzantine means backwards people. They were calling us backwards people. Because, you know, we are the real Jews. But we were just ruling the Roman Empire. And a lot of our people that ruled during that time were wicked as hell anyway. Wicked as hell. People think Constantine was great. I mean, in that world, yeah. But for the Most High, no. It wasn't great for the Most High. See? He brought forth Christmas and Easter and all that. That was Constantine. That was a brother. Understand? I mean, it was already, he named it those things. You know, those things were developed during the Babylonian Empire. But he named it Christmas. Understand? Even though it was the worship of Nimrod, like before that. Easter, the worship of Semiramis and the egg and all that. But
when I was reading about,
but they call it under Constantine, it was Easter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was reading about King James, but they said when I was reading about him, they tried to say like he was a man of God. He did a lot of things according to the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, you really read it. Yeah.
A lot of statues. He has one book called the Silicon Doron.
Yeah.
And he tells his men not to be effeminate.
Right. How about that? And they try to say he was a homosexual. Right. So those are all lies. Go ahead, Shai. So the same thing going to happen to the Antichrist. He's going to be killed with a sword, and his deadly wound is going to be healed. But how is it going to be healed? Is he going to be resurrected back to life? Yeah, basically. But his resurrection is going to be what? The fall of Satan. Fall of Satan and the death of the Antichrist pretty much might happen almost simultaneously. Because why? The fall of Satan gonna come. Satan gonna come. What the scripture says? That Yahweh shall say, I see Satan fall from heaven as lightning. See? He gonna fall from heaven and come into the earth. Then the scripture says, Satan know he hath but a short time when that happens. Meaning, Satan's vibration won't be in the spiritual world anymore, it's going to be in the earth. His total vibration. And then that's when it says, the time of Jacob's trouble will come. Because Satan's coming after us. He's coming after the Israelites then. See? That's no more the Antichrist, because what body does Satan got to come into? He has to come into a body. He has to come into the Antichrist. He's going to take the Antichrist body, right? Because the Antichrist is going to be killed with a sword. He has to take the Antichrist body when Michael Archangel, Michael Archangel kick him out of the heavens, right? So that spirit of Satan got to come into a body somewhere. He's going to come into the Antichrist. Then he's going to be resurrected, and everybody going to think
that he's the Messiah.
That he's the Messiah. Right? Everybody's going to think strong delusion. See? Because he's going to be resurrected back alive. They say, hey, he's back alive. That's Christ. That's Yahushua. Strong delusion, brother. Yeah.
It's just like I'm like speaking as a fool, right? But could that possibly be like, let's say like someone tries to assassinate Obama, he gets shot in the head, but he don't die, he just linger on for like a week, and then that week he gets better and just like a...
Oh, okay, I hear you. That, I can see that. That's a possibility. Right. Right. See, but people won't think that that's the Messiah. And they already call him the Messiah. Isn't that something? It ain't even happened yet. They already call him that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, because Jake and them think that the Most High used the weather to get the man reelected.
Right. Right. But the same thing happened with Rome. This deadly wound was healed during the Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth.
Rebirth. And that's when they started coming out with the white Jesus Christ.
Right, the white Yahushua in 1492.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole thing is, Barak, like the stage set for this love.
It's set for it, right.
Okay, you see, if you notice what's happening in America, the states said they don't want to be a part of America.
Right, they want to secede.
And
15 states want to secede. All of a sudden,
45 now.
45? Damn, that happened.
New York did it too.
It was 15 a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
wow.
Like Texas, like
they're not going to let that happen, brother.
Exactly.
They're not going to let that happen.
So that's what the martial law.
You know they're going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
They're going to try to kill him. Because Texas and Black Country and something close to go.
Yeah, they're not going to let that happen. There's going to be martial law, brother. They're going to send them troops out quick. So we got to get prepared, brother.
Texas one time they want to leave them. Yeah. They said they don't keep the airport. They have the military base.
And look at us. Look at Israel. We're the only one that have no army. You know what I'm saying? No standing army to think of. Understand? We're all scattered all over the place. We're a mess. But all the nations are prepared for war. He said prepare for war. They're prepared, brother. Right? Some of them are trying to get nuclear bombs. But they definitely got weapons. But look at us. See, that's why our protection is what? See, our leader, our captain of this military is Yahushua. And here we have nothing, but we have everything. Isn't that so? We have nothing, we can't fight. We don't know how to fight anymore. We don't know anything anymore. We don't know military strategy, we don't know nothing. See? I'm going to show you that the Most High is going to show you it's going to be done by Him. It's going to be such a great miracle that these niggas walking around with their pants hanging down, running around the streets on crack, you know what I'm saying, listening to hip hop, is going to take over the whole earth. People are not going to believe it. Because we don't have nothing, we have no army, we have nothing. We can't, you know, we can't take care of our children.
That's the greatest glory, bro.
Right. So, because the Most High want to show you He going to do it. If these people have absolutely nothing, how are they going to do it? See? So it's going to be through Yahushua. So go ahead, Yeshaya, read that 4th verse.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
Okay, right.
And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast.
See? They worshiped the dragon, that's Satan, gave power unto the beast, the Antichrist. Remember 2 Thessalonians? Even his coming, whose power was after the workings of Satan, that's the Antichrist. See, the Antichrist is going to get power from Satan. And this is going to be, it's going to be on the left-hand side, but it's going to be real power on the left-hand side. Understand? So don't underestimate the power of Satan. Because he's a formidable foe. Understand? He has power. Understand? He don't have the power of Yahushua, but he has power. So go ahead up.
And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast?
Who worships the beast? Who? Somebody's worshiping the beast. Somebody's worshiping Antichrist.
People that took the mark.
That's right. People that took the mark. That's millions of people, brother. They ain't talking about like 1,000 people. No. It's millions and millions of people all over the world who are going to take the mark. And they're going to say, who is like unto the beast? Now, they're not going to say beast, but what are they going to say?
Who is like unto you, say?
Yeah. Or
that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, whatever his name is. Maybe they may say, who is like unto Obama?
I was just thinking it.
They may say that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right.
Understand?
Wow.
Okay, so it's going to be millions of people. Go ahead, up.
Who is able to make war with him?
Yeah, who's able to, that means what? Who can make war with America? Nobody. Yeah, nobody can make war with America. Nobody. All right, nobody. They can't match up. The technology, the military technology, they can't match it. Even Iran. Now, Iran got a military, but they're not going to be able to match America. So that's going to be, if they go to war, they're supposed to be going to war, right? But it may be a lot of killing, but for prophecy to come to pass, Iran got to lose. They're going to have to lose, yeah.
But just like after World War II, America, America and Russia, they snatched up all of the technical advisors and scientists from Germany anyway. So they have the best of the best. The other ones that didn't want to join, they killed them.
That's right. How about that? Go ahead, up.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
See, now this lets you know it's what now? Given unto him a mouth. See? Now it's showing you this individual man too. He has a mouth. He's going to speak. Even though the president, whoever the president is, speaks for America, but it's still an individual man, isn't it? See? And he's great blasphemies. The blasphemies are going to be great. And towards the end, and especially in the tribulation period, those blasphemies are going to be even greater. You're going to hear great things against the Most High. See? Right now, Obama's saying a little bit here, a little bit there, and you can see certain things, but he ain't coming out like he's going to come out. Great things against the Most High. Go ahead, up.
And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
Yeah, see, 40 and 2 months. What's that? 3.5 years. It's equal to 3.5 years. 3.5 years, 3.5 years is half of the 7-year tribulation period, half of 7. So that means you have the first 3.5 years, and then that second 3.5 years is going to be that great tribulation. That means this is going to be Satan's time. See, the Antichrist is pretty much going to run things for the first 3.5 years. Then when he's killed or whatever happens, and his deadly wound is healed, he's going to be resurrected, Satan's going to fall from heaven into the earth now. See, and he's going to take over the body of the Antichrist. Now he has only 40 and 2 months. Satan had, remember it says, but a short time. He's going to try to, and his main goal is to do what in 3.5 years?
Kill all Israelites.
All Israel. He's going to try to take Israel over. Yeah, the same thing happened to Pharaoh. When Pharaoh realized that he was made a fool of by the Most High hardened his heart. And then the Most High, of course, had Moses lead us to the Red Sea. And Pharaoh said, I got him. So he hardened his heart. That was what? That's like an Antichrist. And the Antichrist, you know what I'm saying, brought his army out into the wilderness to get the Israelites. Same thing will happen here. Read Revelation 12. It's going to happen to us again. The Antichrist is going to chase us into the wilderness. Same thing Pharaoh did. Right? With his armies. And at this time, he's going to have his so-called wicked satanic power. So he's going to be using, like you see in the movie The Mummy, using the earth and using sand or whatever to try to destroy us. You know, maybe using bees or locusts, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They try to destroy us. But the Most High said the earth is going to help Israel. So these are the type of things that are going to happen in the end, right? And so the 40 and 2 months represent the last 3.5 years, okay, of the tribulation period. Go ahead, Op.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
Go ahead, Op.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
See? That's Israel. It's given unto him to make war with the Israelites. The saints is Israel. Go ahead.
And to overcome them.
Go ahead.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
See? It says he's going to overcome us again. Yeah. Overcome us again. But this time it's only going to be for a short period of time. That 3.5. Take that in Zechariah 14. He's going to take some of us back into captivity. All right, some of us will go back into captivity. All right, but only for a short span of time, 3.5 years. All right, and overcome us.
That's like down the concentration camp, right?
Yeah, concentration camps, right. All right. So, and then Revelation 13:18. It's going to show you that too. Read that.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom.
See, here's the wisdom now. Right? Get this. Go ahead.
Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast.
See? Have the understanding. Count the number of the beast. See? Go ahead.
For it is the number of a man.
Of who?
Of a man.
A system.
Of a man.
See? Politics.
Of a man.
See? Of a man. It's the number of a man. Even though that man is going to represent a system, but it's still a number of a man. Go ahead, Up.
And his number is 666.
There you go, 666. Right? So now, what is 666? What is that? Well, why 666? Why does the Most High have it 666? Why does he have it those three numbers? And why the same number? There's something about that number. Well, the Spirit has showed me sort of how to break it down, right? And so you got to remember, 666 is a vibration, right? Vibration, or a measurement of a vibration of Satan, devil, right? And so you got to remember, it's Satan. The word Satan means what?
Deceiver. Adversary.
Adversary, right.
Adversary man.
But that's the English name for Satan. That's the English name. In Hebrew, his name is what? Shaitan. You remember, it's Shaitan. So now, remember, in Hebrew, there's always a numerical value for the word, for words. Understand? There's a numerical value for words too. So you look up Satan, or Shaitan in Hebrew, there's a numerical value to it. Right? Well, of course, with the letters, in Hebrew letters, they have a numerical value. All the Hebrew letters, right? Well, when you look up in Hebrew, the letter, the Shah and Shaitan, Shah, well, that equals 300. When you look it up. And then the letter Ta, the Ta sound, the letter Ta, that equals 9. The letter Na, right, is 50. So that's what you have. Shaitan. Sha, Ta, Na, right? But it's Shaitan when you put it together, right? Well, it's 300, it's 9, and it's 50. So added together, you got 359. Well, I said, why 359? Well, then you break 359 down, you get 359. Now you add those three numbers together, what do you get?
17.
You get 17. Now, what do you do with the 17 to come out, so it can come out as a 6?
Subtract.
You got to subtract.
Right, subtract 1.
But why subtract? In spirit, show me why subtract.
But you can't add it because he's negative.
Because Satan is the negative. He's the negative. You subtract 1 from 7. You get 6. And then why 3 times? Why 6, 6, 6?
Probably because it's the same thing as in heaven. He's on the other side of it. The Most High, the Spirit. And
Well, what does 3 represent?
I don't know. I would say that's the only number that's really going to identify.
Right, but what does 3 represent?
The Trinity.
Yeah.
Well, as far as they go.
Well, yeah, but 3 represents understanding. Okay, when you really check it out, 3 has a vibration of understanding with the Most High. So 3 times, 6, 6, 6. The Most High is saying, understand. This is the vibration of Satan. 6, 6, 6. And then when you go on Revelation 17 and 5, it gives you what that vibration, those 3 6s represent. Okay? Revelation 17 and 5.
Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great.
That's 1 6. See the vibration? Babylon the Great. See, now we're in America now. It's Babylon the Great. Okay? That's 1 vibration of the 6. Because I was wondering, why 6, 6, 6? What does that represent? What's the vibration there? Why does the Most High put that out there as representing the devil? It has to mean something. See? That's 1 6. And then, go ahead up.
The mother of harlots.
Yeah, that's another 6. What's a harlot do? He's a whore.
Temptress.
So, and a whore does what to make money?
Sells
herself.
Sells herself.
America is with the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church being the main one, right. America follows, but still, they sell themselves to what? To nations.
Other nations.
And what do nations do? They buy into her.
Into her.
They buy into the Roman Catholic Church to become part of. You can't become an economic power unless you buy into the Roman Catholic Church. Notice that the Roman Catholic Church is everywhere. It's just everywhere. Think about it, it's everywhere. Every continent, every island, every state, it's everywhere. Every school, every college is everywhere. Understand? Go to a funeral home, what do you have? A little chapel. Roman Catholic Church. I mean, it's everywhere. See? So everybody buys into her and she sells herself. He's a whore.
Whorehouse.
The whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay? That's the Roman Catholic. So that's the second 6. She's a harlot. Okay? And the third 6 is what?
And abominations of the earth.
Yeah, what is that? What's an abomination? Well, what's Obama been signing? The gay laws. It's an abomination. Bestiality bill. Sign that. Abomination. Of course, that's an abomination. So that's another 6. So Babylon the Great, 1 6. Mother of harlots, 2 6. Abomination of the earth, the third 6. 6 6 6. Shaitan. See? Yeah.
Yeah, and also when you break those down in the Hebrew numerically.
Yeah. They come out to be 666. It'll take a lot of time, so I ain't gonna do it. But when you break Babylon the Great and Mother of Harlots and Abomination of the Earth numerically, they come out to be 666. It does. Okay. So, I mean, this is how the Most High Spirit showed us this. But you got to break it down, of course, in the Hebrew. You can't do it in English. That's not the Most High. You got to do it in Hebrew, and it comes out to be that. See? So, and that's the vibration. And then next time I teach the class, I'll break down Yahushua. His name is broken down numerically too, but his represents mercy, right? His name represents mercy, right? But I'll do that in the next class, all right? But just to show you that, and that was in Revelation 13:18, right? And then when you go to Revelation 17:3, right, and read that third verse, Yeshua 17:3.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, see? Now the woman here is who?
Roman Catholic Church.
The Roman Catholic Church. And read the first verse, it's going to tell you pretty much. Go ahead, up. Read the first verse.
And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked to me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, that sitteth upon many waters.
That's the Roman Catholic Church. Don't she sit everywhere? Right. Roman Catholic Church is Babylon the Great too, as well as America. The Roman Catholic Church is Babylon the Great, the religious body, right? America is Babylon the Great, the military body, the military might. America is the Roman Catholic Church military might, you know, which is basically the CIA, and then it goes down to the rest of the military, NSA, CIA, FBI, it goes all the way down to the regular policeman on the corner. Understand? That's the Roman Catholic Church and military might all over the world. And then, of course, you got Britain's military, which is Roman Catholic Church and military might. They all help the Roman Catholic Church run the whole earth. The Roman Catholic Church run everything, brother, under the Jesuit order. From the black pope to the white pope, on down to the Roman Catholic Church and the bishops and all that, and the cardinals, all over the earth, right? And then on down to the Illuminati, on down to the Masons, you know what I'm saying, all the way down. It's a pyramid. But the Jesuits pretty much run the whole thing under the black pope, who nobody really never hears of. Black pope runs the white pope, with the pope that you see in Roman Catholic, the Vatican. He's not the head of the, running everything. It's the black pope that runs everything. And that's the Jesuit order. They run the Vatican. So that's how the pyramid goes down, from them all on down to your local Masonic order in the corner, on the corner of the street over there. They run everything. See? I mean, you name it, they run it. They run everything. They run the corporations, the businesses, the colleges, the schools, the curriculums, Hollywood, TV, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, everything. They run everything. The corporate world, the lawyer world, the attorney world, they run everything, brother. Right? And nothing the Jesuit order don't run. Understand? So, okay, and then when you read, and then it says the beast in the 3rd verse, right? Read that again, Yeshaya.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
A woman, Roman Catholic Church, sitting on the beast. See? Sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Because the beast supports the woman. That's why the woman has to sit on top of the beast. Like you ride a horse or beast, the horse is really supporting you, and you're sitting on top. So the Antichrist is really going to support, at this time now, the Roman Catholic Church. It's going to support it. Right? Go ahead, Up.
Full of names of blasphemy.
Right. It's going to be full of names of blasphemy, meaning they're gonna speak words of lying words against the Most High and Yahushua. Okay? Lying words. All right? Names of blasphemy. Go ahead, Up.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
And those 7 heads that we named, all the way from Egypt up to the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire, all the way up to Britain, America. All right? All that is going to be, they're going to have all that in control, put it like that. And then the 10 horns, of course, are going to rule, right, the 10 regions of the earth. And they're going to have all that in control. This is the New World Order. You have all that in control. Go ahead, Up.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones, and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Right, and all that is giving you how the woman, meaning the Roman Catholic Church, is going to be arrayed. As you see the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican City, how is it arrayed, and how their popes dress and all that, and all the different colors and all that. All right, those colors are purposely given to them. Those certain colors, right, are purposely given.